Joining us now is Benjamin Loughnane from the Bow Group. Hi, Ben. We were just talking about one aspect of this is that students can come over here, and go to some university or other, and then after a while they can bring like 5 of their family over as well, which is how the system is being abused left, right and centre. Rishi Sunak, when confronted with this ludicrous anomaly about a year ago, said, yes, I absolutely agree. It's absolutely ridiculous. We've got to look at this as a matter of urgency. No. It's still happening. This guy seems to think he can solve problems by saying things, but not actually doing them.
Yeah, it's all talk, and I think it's an absolute disgrace what's happening. You look at the figures that came out today, and my key takeaway from this is that the Conservative Party will be punished at the next election. I think the British people have had enough of it. I think they're fed up. And when you look at the abuses to the system, things like the student visas you were talking about, it's nothing short of a loophole. It's a way of getting people in these Mickey Mouse degrees. They sign up for this, whatever, language course, whatever it is, and then they bring over their entire family. They're not students, let's face it. This is just a loophole to get more and more people in.
What I don't understand still is with an 80-seat majority, although they've kind of been losing people left, right and centre over the years.
12 MPs.
Can't blame people for jumping ship, can you? Yeah. But they have had an 80-seat majority. They've still got a big enough majority to potentially bring in emergency legislation to say, look, we've looked at these latest migration figures. This is a crisis. We've got a lot of national debt. Our public services are really struggling. We're going to do something about it. And then they pay lip service to it. They can see themselves being decimated in the polls. If they turned round and acted tough on this one thing, they would actually find they'd go hugely up in the percentage, I reckon, because people don't necessarily think Labour are going to do any better. So I don't understand why they're not doing it.
Very simple, they don't want to. If they wanted to, they would have done by now. They have the power to do that. We saw during lockdown when the borders were restricted, the number of people coming in was much lower. So it just goes to show that it is possible to reduce the flow of migration if you actually want to. But I think they actually don't want to. They tell us at every election they're going to reduce it because they know that we want them to, and they want to tell us what we want to hear to get the votes. But then the moment that they're back into power, they turn around and throw all those promises into the bin because they actually, really, don't want to reduce migration at all.
Absolutely. And what are we going to do about this then, Ben? Do we just have to put up with it until another government comes in and perhaps tackles it? Although we know that the Labour Party won't tackle it if they get into government, heaven forbid. So these figures are just going to keep on going up. There's about 68 million going on 70 million people in this country already. When I was a kid, there were about 55 million. It's ridiculous how much our population is increasing almost by the month. Our infrastructure is creaking at the seams. We cannot handle this. When are we going to confront what I would suggest now is something of a national crisis?
Yeah.
Yes, that's absolutely the right word. It is a national crisis. It's also a national scandal. It's not something that's happened accidentally. This is something that's been done to us by our government, successive governments, in fact, over the past 25 years. And it's plain to say to me that neither of the two main parties are committed to actually resolving this. Frankly, I don't think they care. I think it's a high time that we reform the entire political system and replace the two main parties with ones which actually represent the people and really believe in delivering the things that are their priorities. At the moment, I really fail to see Labour or the Tories doing anything to reduce immigration at any point in the near future.
Yeah, let's ride that populist wave that's sweeping across Europe. I'm totally in agreement. Coming up...